Yo, what's up, y'all? Ladies and gentlemen, my beautiful people, my wonderful people, how y'all doing, man? All 9,000, 48 of y'all. See, each and every one of you guys, I love you guys. You're awesome. Man, shout out to you guys. We're moving on to the Taylor Schabusiness case. So everybody get the things you need. I got the lime cucumber Gatorade. Yo, this shit hit. But anyway, we got, as I was saying, Taylor Schabusiness. Now she lunges at her attorney, completely goes ape on his ass for no apparent reason. Now I think they're in court to see if she's, fit for trial, a few other things, and her initial lawyer, her first lawyer is here, and obviously, he drops her ass, I'm assuming, after this. But let's get straight into it. It's absolutely wild, man. Shabusiness, she's like one of them people who's like, she's a mystery. She's got so many mental situations going on. Her whole being is just a mystery. Let's check this shit out.
Video shows an accused murderer Shocking video shows an accused murderer lash out at her defense attorney as a judge agrees to push back her upcoming trial.
You went off on your attorney, Taylor. You went crazy on your attorney.
Yeah, it was certainly an attack, and I've been...
You went off on your attorney, Taylor. You went crazy on your attorney. I think she knows what she just did. In case she didn't know, though, in case you didn't know, Taylor, you wilding right now. But look at the strength of which she throws her elbows at him. She knows what she's doing, But I think she did this. I don't think she's crazy, and I don't think she hated her lawyer. I think she did it so that she wouldn't be held fit for trial for whatever reason. She felt like that would help her. I think that's what she was going for in this.
Shocking video shows an accused murderer lash out at her defense attorney as a judge agrees to push back her upcoming trial.
You went off on your attorney, Taylor. You went crazy on your attorney.
Yeah, it was certainly an attack, and I've been in so many courtrooms and so many cases, and this is the first time I've really seen a defendant physically go after their own attorney.
Court video shows Taylor Schabusiness lunge at defense attorney Quinn Jolly before she's restrained by a sheriff's deputy. It happened in Green Bay, Wisconsin on February 14th. 25-year-old Schabusiness appeared in Brown County Court.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. Yo, you guys hit me in the comments for sure. For sure, tell me, 100% sure. Did she really change her name to Schabusiness because of the whole situation with her husband? Schabusiness? What? I'm sorry. I keep bringing that shit up, but I'm confused. What kind of a name is that? Now I can get if you're, if it's your God-given name, or I should say your parent-given name or your family name, hey, you're stuck with it. But if she gave herself that name, that attests more to her mental issues. Schabusiness? All right, then. All right, then.
Court for a competency hearing. Schabusiness, who is accused of murdering and dismembering her lover, 24-year-old Shad Thyrion, last year, was set to go to trial next month.
And one last thing, that picture of Shad Thyrion is what the fuck? I've always been seeing this picture, but I don't think anybody's ever pointed it out. What is he going through, y'all? Or maybe he's on psychedelics taking this picture, and he thought it would be funny to post it as his profile. Other than that, if he's not rolling on something, what is going on with your boy Shad? Because this picture alone makes me feel uncomfortable, right? So imagine that dynamic. Shad and Shad Thyrion. That's a cool name. That's better than Schabusiness. But imagine Thyrion and Schabusiness hanging out together. It probably did not mesh well. And you can tell she was the abusive, dominant type of bully, lover, friend type of person. And he probably liked it to a degree. But, obviously not to a certain extent. Yeah, we need to chill. Like that's why. Listen, that's why I don't do the handcuffs. You know what I mean? Because you never know. You never know.
But at the competency hearing, her attorney asked Judge Thomas Walsh for 2 more weeks, hoping a defense expert could testify about Schabusiness's mental status. When the judge ruled Schabusiness's trial could be pushed back to May, she physically attacked her attorney.
And the judge was basically looking at a future date, and then all of a sudden, that's when she got up and attacked her attorney.
Video shows Schabusiness sitting with her hands in her lap before abruptly standing up and attacking her attorney.
Yo, if she had hit him with the first attempt, he would have had a broken nose. Look at the first attempt. That was a clean elbow going for his face, but she missed.
For that, a Brown County
attorney.
Video shows Schabusiness sitting with her hands in her lap before abruptly standing up and attacking her attorney. After that, a Brown County Sheriff's deputy breaks up the fight and works to restrain her. He continues to wrestle Schabusiness to the ground before the courtroom is evacuated. About 1 minute into the struggle, another sheriff's deputy rushes into the courtroom to help in the restraining of Schabusiness. A third sheriff's deputy rushes in seconds later as additional
Man, a third deputy sheriff was not rushing in. He was leisurely walking in.
Another sheriff's deputy rushes into the courtroom to help in the restraining of Schabusiness.
Look at the third one.
A third sheriff's deputy rushes in seconds later as additional backup. Reporter and anchor Brittany Schmidt was inside the courtroom as all the chaos unfolded.
She is wearing a belt and her handcuffs are attached to that belt. So she didn't have a lot of range of motion, but you do see her lead with her elbow and lunge at her defense attorney. And he puts his hands up to defend himself. And the deputy is very close by, within feet of her. He gets her to the ground rather quickly and maintains control of her. He holds her down as they call for backup. She did have her foot like wrapped around some cord on his belt. And that's when they said, okay, we need everybody to clear the room because for safety reasons. So everybody was escorted out of the courtroom at that time.
Basically, they're like, if we need a shooter, we don't want nobody else in here. So y'all get up out of here. This is not for y'all to see.
Schmidt, who works for local Green Bay station WBAY, says she's followed the disturbing case for months, but has never seen the defendant act out.
I've covered Schabusiness in court, man, I would say a half a dozen times now. And every time I see her in court, she's silent. She is motionless. She's straightforward, very little emotion, in and out, no big deal. So this is not something that even I expected to see from her. I know that her defense has brought up questions about her competency and her actions in jail at the time. But it was definitely not something anybody expected. And everybody was really shocked when they heard the commotion and then you see what was happening. And we kind of just all watched.
Man, shout out the Law and Crime Network. These guys are fucking awesome. They get all the information. They get all the scoop. And then I can just like compile. But anyway, like, what do you guys think? You know what I mean? Like, what do you guys think she lunged down for? They said as they were talking about a later date. So do you think she was mad that they had more time? Like she wanted to get over with? Or like, I don't know. All I know is at the end of this, she had a new lawyer. And she seemed to get along with him. He was very close to her. Not close in terms of that, but like sitting very close to her, seeming with no issue or no fear of having an issue. So I wonder if she had an issue with the lawyer, said something, and it's like, yeah, I don't want to go this route. And he goes this route anyway because obviously he knows best. And she gets mad about it. That's what I'm thinking. But you guys let me know because I know y'all be scouring the internet. You guys have my Instagram DMs flooded with links. And I'm slowly but surely, trust me, like I'm going to add this to the OGs. The people are telling me, oh, do this, oh, do that. Trust me, I see it, and, you know, I'm going as fast as I can, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes recording is easy. That's the easy part. Then it's like, you know, editing, uploading, having it get passed by YouTube, all that shit. So bear with me, y'all, and keep them coming. I don't care if I have 500 DMs on topics. Then I could just go into Pandora's box, you know what I mean? So shout out to you guys for that.
In February of last year, then 24-year-old Schabusiness was arrested and charged with Shad Thyrion's murder. This came after Thyrion's mother...
See, now there's a good picture of Thyrion right there. That's the person I'd probably notice, like, on the street. I'll recognize him. Not the rolling Thyrion. I don't know. I think he was on something in that picture, but yeah.
Found his decapitated head at the bottom of her stairway. Investigators say Schabusiness murdered Thyrion after she began choking him during sex. She later told investigators she had been smoking meth and shooting up trazodone. After Thyrion was killed, investigators say Schabusiness dismembered his body and performed sexual acts on it. She allegedly put a leg and foot in her vehicle and left Thyrion's head in a bucket. She later told investigators, quote, "I can't believe I left the head, though." She has since pleaded not guilty by reason of mental disease or defect to her charges.
I think this case...
Mental disease or defect? Girl, to a certain degree, I feel like I agree with her. You got something wrong with you to be doing all that. I don't care how much ice you smoking. I don't care how much whatever the fuck you're shooting up. At a certain degree, it's kind of like, are you just an evil person? Because I feel like drugs and alcohol, they just accentuate what you are already. They just make you more of what you are. There's nothing else for them to work on, you know? Like, you take a drug, you are who you are. The drug only can work on what's there, if that makes sense, What's already there is just going to come out times 2, times 3, times 10, whatever you're taking. Like, that's how I feel about it.
Has kind of grabbed national attention just because the nature of the case and the details in the criminal complaint are extremely gruesome and it's extremely violent. And it's one of those things where you never think it happens in your own backyard until it does.
But Schmidt says there were no indications at Tuesday's hearing that Schabusiness would lash out.
You see the moments right before the attack where Schabusiness is just kind of motionless. She doesn't say anything during the attack. Her attorney is just sitting there. He's not talking at all because at this time the judge was talking about a future trial date. So there's really no commotion at all. And then you see the attack and the deputy comes in and grabs her, takes her to the ground. And, she's in handcuffs, which are attached to her belt. So he was able to hold her down rather quickly and keep her that way, even as she's fighting and pushing back and kicking and stuff like that.
Schmidt herself is caught on camera reacting to the fight.
Even I jumped back and kind of moved closer to my photographer because it was just so shocking and we were just kind of stunned at what we were watching and seeing happen.
Video also shows Brown County Sheriff's deputies' quick response to the attack.
So I reached out to the Brown County Sheriff's Office today, and they actually said that their deputies acted as they were supposed to, as they were trained to make sure that everybody was safe in the court. And we saw that when we were in there. The deputy who was with Schabusiness had her down on the ground within moments of the attack. He held her down the whole time.
Following the attack, Schmidt says news cameras caught Schabusiness speaking with sheriff's deputies, asking what happened.
You went off on your attorney, Taylor. You went crazy on your attorney.
You can't do that.
After that, Schmidt says everyone was allowed back inside the courtroom.
And she said, what happened? She's trying to get that competency situation dealt with. She's trying to take things into her own hands. Basically, she's like, hey, attorney, I know you're doing these motions, but don't worry, I got this. Check this out. Like, that was her move. She was like, I'm gonna fuck you up. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about it. My family will pay you. Oh, and her family, that's the other story. That's the whole other tragic story. There's a whole bunch of shit going on with the Schabusiness gang, man. But, I mean, she tried it. What happened? Girl, you know what happened. Come on. That shit was so staged. Like...
And once we are kind of brought back in, everybody just kind of sat down. The judge came back out. We went back on the record. And the judge did not address it at all. He just moved right into talking about what's next, when can the next date be, and when should we have this competency hearing.
Man, judge is like, I don't got time for this shit. I just finished law. This judge looks fresh. You know what I mean? He looks fresh up there because, somebody in the comments said you had to do law school before you become a judge. I didn't know that. But anyway, not law school. Someone said you had to be an attorney before you become a judge. I didn't know that. But he looks fresh up here. So he's like, man, I ain't got time for this. We're moving straight along. This is another one for the books. moving to the next. Let's get this reputation started, you know?
So he did not address the attack or say anything. Because of the commotion in the courtroom, I did not watch the judge and see what he did because we were all so shocked.
As the judge discussed a future trial date, Schabusiness' attorney made a shocking announcement.
They kind of tentatively talked about May 15th, but it was never set on record. They just kind of tentatively put it out there because they had to make sure that the defense was okay with those dates, that the prosecution was okay with that date, and victims or witnesses were okay with that date. And when Judge Walsh asked the prosecution if they were okay, they said, yep, let's just check with some of our victims and the statements. And then he asked Jolly if he was okay with those times as well. And Jolly kind of just looked down and he comes back up and says, yeah, I'm okay with that, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to put a motion in to withdraw from this case. And the judge says, okay, I'll write that down and we'll handle that at the next motion hearing.
Yeah, there you go. He was like, man, they're not paying me enough for this, bro. They're not paying me enough. I'll go to somebody who actually appreciates me. You know what I mean? When you get to that level, fuck her. You know, simple as that. I don't need this. I'm out. And that's the type of shit you need to be doing in your life. You know, that's the level you need to get to in your life, not even as a lawyer, as whoever. Oh, you don't need my help? Well, fuck it. I'm out. Or I'm not wanted here. Fuck it. I don't need this job. Like, I'll get another one. Like, that's the dream right there, you know?
Brown County Clerk of Courts tells Law and Crime Network Jolly's motion to withdraw from the case will be addressed at Schabusiness' next hearing. If that's approved, Schmidt says there's no telling when a new attorney could be appointed.
Her attorney was appointed to her from the public defender's office here locally. I did call them today, but they were not able to comment on the case at all. So we don't know what this kind of looks like moving forward because we know that our public defenders are really weighted down with so many cases. And because this is such a high profile case, they have to have certain qualifications to represent someone of this nature and of a crime of this nature. So tentatively those dates are on the record, but who knows how long this could be pushed back.
Meanwhile, Northeast Wisconsin and the entire country continues to follow the case closely.
I mean, every time we talk about it in our shows, you know, we're trying to be really respectful to the victim and the victim's family, but we also, you know, we call it a dismemberment case because that's what had happened.
That's what it is.
And so I think just hearing dismemberment, I think people automatically pay attention to it and question it and want to see what's happening. And so even on a larger scale, we saw the videos yesterday just kind of blow up and expand, and everybody has already now seen it, right? And that's why we were looking for new angles today. But even locally, a lot of people have their eyes on it just because of the nature of the case.
Yep. Yeah, no, Schabusiness is a crazy one. That's why I said we are doing this trial all the way. Now, this is a straight up angle of the whole Schabusiness situation. This is another angle, no commentary, no nothing. I'm going to just play it for y'all so you guys can see it. You know, and again, no warning. Look at her. Quiet, looking forward. So gears are turning in her head for sure. She's thinking. Turns to the judge. And she's off. Let me get that. Let me fuck you up. When you see it from this angle, that above angle from the roof makes it seem like it was so violent and she was thrusting so hard. But if you think about it, she's just a little old lady. Like, she was trying. All I see right now is hair moving. Just a bunch of hair. Just a bunch of hair moving. Pin her to the floor. Look, oh, she kicking. Now that foot might hurt you. Look at them slides. The yellow Crocs. Nah, they're not no Crocs. They're them prison shoes. Yeah. She mad because those prison shoes stink. Oh, now they're doing judo. They're just wrestling at this point. I almost said poor Schabusiness, but nah. Crazy Schabusiness. That's what I should have said. Yeah. Anyways, y'all, that was her completely lunging at her lawyer, losing her shit. I think she did it purposely to try to make herself look unfit for trial. But anyways, y'all, that was a little update for y'all. We got more content coming, so I gotta get up out of here. I love y'all. Stay inside, stay safe. It's Sunday right now. Hopefully y'all see this on Sunday. You know how it is. But yeah, we got more to come. We got a crazy one after this, actually. It's about an OnlyFans chick. Wild. I'll see you later.